Hello Internet, Michael Bisog here, and today we're going to talk about microaggressions. Mostly we're going to talk about how there really isn't such a thing as microaggressions, and the problems that would arise if you allow there to be such a thing as microaggressions. I'm so triggered. Hey, welcome back. I haven't been on in a little while. I've been sick for the last week or so, and I didn't want to make a video where I'm like, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and we're having this discussion on Facebook, and I started out talking about the idea of I'm so offended by this, or I'm so offended by that, and how it really doesn't have any place. It has no logical usefulness in discussion, and it means nothing. To say that I'm offended by something means nothing. His argument is that, it's good to care about others. I get that. Like, at the base of his argument. And I'll put up some pieces of his argument here. But he's basically saying it's good to care about others. It's good to want to know why something hurts someone else. He assumes that I would care. If somebody says I'm offended by that I would care. And while I'm not saying that he's wrong, I'm saying that the premise is wrong. Sorry, the premise is that I can say that I'm offended by something, and you should change your action, right? And it's not so much about hurting someone's feelings that matters. Here's the analogy that I gave it. Saying that you're offended is like pulling someone over on the freeway because you don't like the dust on their car. They haven't actually injured you. They haven't hurt you. They haven't done anything to you. It's your choice to care about the dust on their car. It's your choice to interpret the fact that they have dust on their car to mean something, bad to you, right? It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. And so he comes back and he says that, well, sometimes it's legitimate. I mean, if you were to have this, this strange analogy of the freeway, should show up in real life. Somebody says that, hey, you've injured me in some way, you've hurt me, and so we pull over. Then it's not legitimate to just drive off and say, who gives a crap? It's you have to deal with it at the time. I'm like, no. That person, by pulling me over, by forcing me over to the side, stopping my action because of some made-up weird crap in their head, has disrupted traffic, and now they've subjected themselves to the punishment of society. They've subjected themselves to the law. They're obstructing traffic, right? He says, well, sometimes, things need to get shaken up, and he references Martin Luther King as if Martin Luther King's movement was one big freeway stoppage. I was like, no. Martin Luther King's action, his entire movement was legitimate. He was saying, you have injured me, because they have. Staying with the freeway analogy, he was saying, hey, a-hole, you just hit my car. Let's pull over, and I'm going to call the cops because you just slammed into my car. That's real. That's a real thing. It's not some perceived made-up bullcrap. And so he calls on the cops, and in Martin Luther King's real case, he's calling on the nation and the world, in fact, to judge the case, to say, yes, you are injured, and we need to put a stop to it. Injury is done to you. We need to put a stop to it. We need to rectify it. And so, of course, my friend, he brings the analogy in, and to say basically, how can you say whether or not they're hurt? And I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's made up and it's in their head, right? If I stab someone, they don't get to choose whether the knife makes a stab wound or just tickles them. The knife is a real thing, and the action is a real thing that's really going to put a hole in them. That's a real injury, and you can prove that real injury. Being offended is not real. It's not a real thing. It doesn't actually matter. It hurts your feelings? That's because you chose to interpret the actions of someone else a certain way. That was your choice. You hurt your feelings. That's the difference. You hurt your own feelings. Because when an action happens, nothing goes on in your head until you choose to interpret the action a certain way. And from your choice in the interpretation of the action comes emotional response. So we got onto this idea of microaggressions, and it was funny because he used BuzzFeed's definition of microaggressions. I'll put it here. And I didn't say it because I try not to attack people directly. I don't want to attack him because we're having an awesome discussion. Just for you though, using BuzzFeed's definition of anything is kind of sad. I mean, would you like to know the 10 reasons why your girlfriend thinks that BuzzFeed's dumb? Would you like to know the 10 reasons why your cat doesn't understand why using BuzzFeed as a definition is wrong? I mean, that's what BuzzFeed does. Just go to BuzzFeed.com, look down the left side of their website. So, yeah, he used BuzzFeed's definition, but then he changed it. He used what we call persuasive definition, meaning like you choose the definition that best fits your argument and basically put it out as if that's how I'm defining it. That's how it makes sense for me. So he's saying, well, you know, people who commit microaggressions, they're just jerks. Sounds like jerks to me, and I mean, that might be legitimate, but it doesn't matter because microaggressions are in the heads of other people. So what you're saying it really is that if I use the term microaggression, if I am offended by your microaggression, I'm a jerk because I made it up in my head. I saw it in my head. I created the situation. The only thing that has actually really happened here is my thought about what you did. That's the problem. You don't get to have a progressive, stable, modern society while at the same time allowing people to just bring grievances about made-up crap. You see, because the idea of microaggression itself, that word aggression, microaggression, it's deceptive in its intent. People think, oh, it's just a little thing. Well, not really. If you're aggressive toward me, then you've given me, by society standards, justification to react aggressively toward you. If you brandish a knife and tell me I'm going to kill you, and then I snap your neck, and court says, good to go. That's just how it is. You brought aggression to me, I reacted aggressively. So by defining the thoughts in my head about the things that you do as you being aggressive toward me, I'm giving myself license to react aggressively toward you. I'm giving myself license to punch a Nazi. That's all that is. I'm giving myself license to attack your business, attack your home, attack your lifestyle. I'm justifying my actions. And that's just not legitimate. So the next time you hear the words microaggression, the next time you hear someone say, that's offensive, or I'm offended, let them know it doesn't matter. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry it's been so long. I've been a little sick. If you like this video, click like. If you like these videos, you want to see more of them, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the bell right next to it to keep getting notifications when I upload new things. I hope to get back into my every 3 days type of schedule. So be safe, and I'll see you soon.